Hello to all, hope so you all are well, and today we'll be starting with another type of the simple permanent tissue, and that is known as the Collenchyma. In the last video we have discussed a simple permanent tissue, and that was known as the parenchyma. Now let's have a look here that what is Collenchyma. Basically it is elastic living mechanical tissue. Generally you will see in the entire anatomy that the mechanical tissues are dead, but this is the only mechanical tissue which is living. So if the question is asked in the exam that name a living mechanical tissue, so this living mechanical tissue is the Collenchyma. Alright, now cells are elongated. Cells are elongated. In transverse section, they are seen in form of oval, spherical or polygonal shape, right? Cells are elongated, but in transverse section you will see that cells are present in different forms. They may be oval, they may be spherical, or they may be polygonal. Alright, now the cells are surrounded by walls made of pectin. Mainly pectin is there. The cells are surrounded by walls made of pectin, hemicellulose and cellulose. But the percentage of the pectin is more than the hemicellulose and the cellulose. So cells are surrounded by walls made of pectin, hemicellulose and cellulose. Now one thing to be noted here is that pectin, hemicellulose and cellulose are complex carbohydrates, which give strength to walls. Are you getting? Pectin, hemicellulose and cellulose are complex carbohydrate which gives strength to the walls. Now remember one more thing, that pectocellulose, because they are chiefly concerned with pectin and cellulose, but hemicellulose is also present. So pectocellulose is hydrophilic. Water loving. Pectocellulose is hydrophilic in nature, which gives flexibility to young dicot stems. Pectocellulose is hydrophilic in nature. Hydrophilic means water loving, which gives flexibility to the young dicot stems. Now remember this thing, that cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin are deposited at the corners, of cell. Cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin are deposited at the corners of cell. Say for like this type. Say for this is the cell, right? These are the cells. Alright. So a big central vacuole is present in the cell. This is the vacuole. This is the vacuole. The protoplasm and nucleus are found at the periphery, and the deposition of the pectin, hemicellulose and cellulose occur at the corners like this. Deposition occurs at the corners of the cells like this type. Corners of the cells become thickened. Corners of the cell become thickened like this. Corners of the cells are thicked because of the deposition of pectin, cellulose and hemicellulose. You can see that at the corners these substances are deposited. Alright. Now the next one is intercellular spaces are absent. Intercellular spaces are absent. You have seen that in the parenchyma the intercellular spaces were present, but here intercellular spaces are absent. That is, cells are compactly packed. Cells are compactly packed. Cells are compactly packed and no intercellular spaces are present. No intercellular spaces means intercellular spaces are totally absent. Are you getting? Now let's have a look on the occurrence, that where this tissue is found. Where this tissue is found. Now first thing you must know that the collenchyma is chiefly found in the young dicot stems. It is chiefly found in young dicot stem, not woody stems. Remember this thing. Occurrence. Collenchyma is found in young dicot stems. Again I am saying collenchyma is found in a young dicot stem. It is found as a homogeneous layer. It is found as a homogeneous layer, say for sunflower stem, or it may be found in form of patches. Say for, the best example is cucurbita stem. Homogeneous layer means what? Continuous layer. Homogeneous layer means continuous layer. Are you getting? So collenchyma is found in young dicot stems. It is found as a homogeneous layer or a continuous layer. Say for the example is sunflower stem, or it may be found in the form of patches, that is in the cucurbita stem. Alright. Now this collenchyma is also found at margins of leaves and petiole of leaves. You know what is petiole? Say for if this is the leaf, so these are the leaf margins. These are the leaf margins, and this is the petiole. Petiole is the stalk of leaf. Petiole is the stalk of leaf. So collenchyma is also found at the margins of the leaves and petiole of the leaves, due to which leaves are not teared off. Leaves are not teared off or damaged in high winds. Are you getting? Means collenchyma is also found at the margins of the leaves as well as in the petiole of the leaves, due to which leaves are not teared off. Leaves are not teared off or damaged in high winds. Means they can flutter in wind without damage. Are you getting? So you have seen that even when the winds are very much high, when the winds are blowing at a high velocity, then also the thin leaves are so much thin, but then also they are not teared off or they are not damaged off, because they have collenchyma in the petiole as well as in the margins of leaves. Not only this, remember this thing that collenchyma, just now I have said you that collenchyma gives flexibility to young dicot stems. Alright. Now, one more thing, that the collenchyma, where collenchyma is present. So collenchyma forms hypodermis of young dicot stems. So we are saying that collenchyma is found in young dicot stem, but where? So this point to be remembered, collenchyma is found in young dicot stem, where? In the hypodermis. Now you know very well, you have studied hypodermis, that this is the epidermis. The outermost layer is the epidermis. And just below the epidermis is hypodermis. This is the hypodermis. Are you getting? So I am marking here hypodermis, right? So collenchyma forms hypodermis of the dicot stem, and remember this thing, that hypodermis which is made of collenchyma is 3 to 4 layered. Hypodermis is 3 to 4 layered, and you can see that there are no intercellular spaces. Are you getting? There are no intercellular spaces. Now coming to the next one. So collenchyma is found in young dicot stems, and it is also found at the margins of the leaves and the petiole of the leaves. And in young dicot stem, where it is found? It is found in the hypodermis. Now let's talk some other things also, that what about the woody dicot stems? When the dicot stems become woody, dicot stem becomes woody after secondary growth. Alright, they become woody after secondary growth. Alright, so always remember that in woody dicot stems, in young stems collenchyma was present, but remember this thing, that in woody dicot stems, that is after secondary growth. We know very well that secondary growth occur in dicot stems. So in woody dicot stems, collenchyma Collenchyma is absent. Collenchyma is absent. Alright. One more thing, that very important point to be noted here, that Collenchyma is also absent in monocot plants. Monocot plants. Remember this thing, this is very important feature, that Collenchyma is also absent in monocot plants. Monocot plants are not having this tissue known as the Collenchyma. Now, Collenchyma, right, it is absent in monocot plants. Collenchyma is also absent in roots. Collenchyma is absent in roots. So we can say that Collenchyma is absent in woody dicot plants after secondary growth. It is absent in monocot plants. It is absent in roots. So can I say that Collenchyma is not a universal tissue because it is absent at many places? It is not a universal tissue. Got it? Collenchyma is not a universal tissue. Alright. Now we will be discussing the types of Collenchyma. Types of Collenchyma based on deposition of pectin cellulose and hemicellulose on walls. How the pectin cellulose and hemicellulose is deposited on the walls? On this behalf, the Collenchyma is divided into 3 types. Collenchyma is of how many types? 3 types. What I am saying, that the Collenchyma are classified into 3 categories based on the deposition pattern of the pectin cellulose and the hemicellulose on the walls of the Collenchyma cells. So these 3 types are, the number 1 is lamellar Collenchyma. Number 2 is angular Collenchyma, and number 3 is lacunar Collenchyma. Now classification is based on the deposition of pectin, cellulose and hemicellulose on the wall. Clear? So we will be first discussing the lamellar Collenchyma. First is lamellar Collenchyma. First one, lamellar Collenchyma. Lamellar oblique plate Collenchyma. As the name is indicating, lamellar means plate-like. So here the pectin, especially pectin, not only the pectin, hemicellulose as well as cellulose. So here the pectin is deposited on tangential walls. Here the pectin is deposited on tangential wall. What do you mean by tangential wall? Deposition occur on, or we can say deposition occur on the parallel cell surfaces. Tangential wall means deposition occur on parallel cell surfaces, right? The deposition always occur on parallel cell surfaces. Say for like this type, the deposition occur in this way. Like this, you can see here the deposition will occur on parallel cell surfaces like this type. deposition will occur here like this type. Like this, deposition will occur on surfaces, right? Parallel cell surfaces. Alright, the best example is sunflower stem. Sunflower stem. Alright. Now the second one is angular collenchyma. Now it is the most common type of collenchyma. Most common type of collenchyma known as the angular collenchyma, and here deposition occur at corners. As the name is indicating angular, here the deposition occur at corners of the cells. Here the deposition was happening on the tangential walls which were parallel to the cell surface, means deposition occur on parallel cell surfaces. Here deposition occur at corners of cell. Say for, I have already said you, say for this is the cell, say for these are the cells, then deposition occur at corners. Say for here, say for this is the corner, so deposition will occur at corner. All the corners are deposited by these substances like this type. Deposition occur at corners like this. Are you getting? The best example is members of Solanaceae family. Members of Solanaceae family. Say for examples are tomato, brinjal, etc. And the third type is lacunar collenchyma. Now there is confusion in the books that somewhere it is also written tubular collenchyma. So don't be confused. Lacunar is also called as tubular parenchyma. So tubular and lacunar parenchyma are not different, they are same. So lacunar parenchyma, here large intercellular spaces, are present between cells. Here large intercellular spaces are present between cells. Now deposition occur in front of deposition occur on walls which are in front of intercellular spaces. Say for if these are the cells, and if these are the intercellular spaces, so where the deposition will occur? Deposition will occur on the walls which are in front of intercellular spaces. So this is the intercellular space, so deposition will occur here like this type. Deposition occur, and deposition occur in such a way that you will see that at the last you will not be able to see the intercellular spaces. Alright, so the best example of the lacunar collenchyma, is the cucurbita stem and aerial roots of monstera. Now this is an exception. I have said you that it was absent in the roots, but exceptionally in the aerial roots. Aerial roots means which are hanging in the air. So in aerial roots of monstera, and cucurbita stem, this lacunar collenchyma is present. Alright, so based on the deposition, it is of three types: lamellar, angular and lacunar collenchyma. Alright, and at the last we are coming to the functions of the collenchyma, which are also very, very important. So let's talk about functions. Number one is that it provides mechanical support. Though it is a living tissue, but it provides mechanical support to the dicot plants, young dicot plants. So functions, it gives mechanical support. It gives mechanical support to young dicot stems. That is, it provides flexibility to them. I can say that it gives tensile strength. It gives tensile strength against bending and swaying. Swaying is done by actually the leaves. Alright, so it gives tensile strength against bending and swaying. Alright, so it gives mechanical support to the young dicot stems. It provides flexibility to the young stems, and sometimes it has been seen that chloroplast are also found in collenchyma cells, because of which it can assimilate, means it can synthesize food, it can assimilate food. Why? Because it has chloroplast in it. So chloroplasts are also found in the collenchyma cells. Chloroplasts are also found in collenchyma cells, because of which it can assimilate food, and it gives mechanical support to the young dicot stem. It provides flexibility to them, or I can say it gives tensile strength against bending and swaying. Alright, and as I have said you that leaves are not tiered in high velocity of wind, because they have collenchyma at margins as well as in petiole. Clear? So these are the chief functions. These are the chief functions of the collenchyma. So in today's video we have discussed another simple permanent tissue, and that is known as the collenchyma. Hope so you have liked this video, and just wait for the another video, and in the next video we'll be discussing the sclerenchyma and the other parts, remaining parts of the plant anatomy. So thanks a lot for watching me.